Okay, welcome back to Go and Preach. We are diving right in. We're picking up where we left off last time, where we were talking about evangelism to people of other faiths, other religions, other worldviews. And today we're going to talk about witnessing to people of the Muslim faith. Muslims, there's many of them, millions and millions of them in the world today. It's the fastest growing religion in the world. I believe it is the second largest religion per person, per capita. Muslims have an interesting belief about Jesus, which is very important for us to understand when it comes to witnessing to them. They believe that Jesus was a prophet and a teacher, but that he is not God, and that Muhammad is actually higher on the list of prophets than Jesus. So, without getting into a debate with them, I like to try to point out to them who Jesus actually claimed to be. Because if you really get down to it, he made very, very radical claims about himself and about being equal with God. And that just is not something that a good prophet would do if it wasn't true. You see, John chapter 14 and verse 6, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man comes to the Father except through me. Now, if I was witnessing one-on-one with a Muslim, I would say, look, Jesus says that the only way to get to Allah is through him. He's the only way. That is very, very exclusive. Now, interestingly enough, a lot of people don't know this, but Muhammad used to encourage the Muslims to read the Gospels, which make these claims about Jesus. So, what am I saying then? According to Scripture, according to what Jesus said about himself, it's just not possible for him to only be a good prophet or a good teacher. And this is why. C.S. Lewis had this observation. Because if he claims to be God, there are only three things that we can say about that person. They can't all be true. Only one of these things can be true. Number one, he is in fact who he says he is. And if he is who he said he was, then we need to hail him as the Lord and bow down and worship him and him alone. The second option that is given to us, to someone who claims to be God, is that they are a deceiver. And they're trying to persuade people that they are somebody that they are in fact not. That means they're a liar. And they are not good, okay? Quote unquote, they're not good at all. So they can't be a good teacher. They can't be a good prophet if they are in fact lying and deceiving people to follow after them. The third option that is available to us is that the man was mentally insane. If he claims to be God, we've all heard stories about people who claim to be God and they did crazy radical things, though they were insane and they were unstable. And a man who is mentally insane is not somebody who should be lauded or hailed as a good prophet and a good teacher. So in reality, even when we're witnessing to a Muslim, we can point these things out, that Jesus himself claimed to be God. And if he did in fact claim to be God, which the Gospels claim, then he is either who he said he was, he is a deceiver, or he is a crazy man that should not be followed. So just a little tip. Again, as I mentioned last time, this is not going to be exhaustive. This whole course is not on apologetics. That can be a separate course in of itself. But we're just making tips on how we can evangelize other people of other faiths and other religions. So why don't you come on back next time, and we're going to jump back in and talk about people of other religions and other cultures right here on Go and Preach. God bless.